Showtime.
I'll be your Emmy Lou and I'll be your Judith. You'll be my Graham and my Johnny too. No, I'm not asking much of you. Just sing, little darling, sing with me.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Rosie and Bill Show. Our guests this week are talented in their own right, but together they are a musical force to be reckoned with. From the state of North Carolina, please welcome the dynamic duo of Darin and Brooke Aldridge. Darin, Brooke, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. We are so excited to have the two of you on. And bottom line is, there is a lot going on with you both right now, and we're going to do our best to touch on each and every one of those topics before we're done. But first things first, my question for you to kick things off tonight is, what was it that brought Darin and Brooke together when you guys first became a duo?
Well, of course, it was a physical attraction, but there was also that instant connection in our music. We had the same goals and ambitions and, dreams that we wanted to achieve. Became really good friends at first and then started dating, and that led to a marriage years down the road. So
I like to tell folks I prayed for her for a long time before she came along.
Oh, that's really sweet. Yeah, I think Bill was going for the music, but there was a little something going on first there.
well, that's what he always says. He had to check me out. So that's why he came to meet me in the first place with the band that I was playing with back in my hometown. So
Oh, okay. So wait a minute. Did you grow up in the same area?
No, our families did, but Darin's family moved away from the hometown where I grew up before they were born, of course, him and his brother. And then his family and my family were always telling, each other about the other. When Darin would come visit, his family would always be like, "You've got to meet Brooke," because I knew all of his family really well. And then same kind of thing with me when I saw his family. "You've got to meet Darin." Y'all would just hit it off and have so much in common. And turns out they were right.
That's right.
Question now, once you got married or even started dating, because it's fun to sing with someone that you're in a relationship with, right? But once you got married, did the dynamic of the professional part of the relationship change much?
Not really. I knew first time I heard her sing in person that that was someone I wanted to be with and, of course, sing with. And it's a funny story. She had two guys in the band singing with her that day, and they just wasn't really up to par. And I wanted to throw my part in there. And so I kind of moved them out of the way and said, "Let me sing with her on this next song." And it just happened like that. And we've been kind of going strong ever since. But we, like Brooke said, we've had both had the same goals and ambitions and what we wanted to reach, and was more serious about music than anybody else that would really ever been around. So that's what we strive for.
Every time you leave, you tear the soul from me. I die.
Darin, I have to say that's a pretty good strategy. I like that approach. And I remember not all that long ago, we had John Berry on the show, and he told a story about how when he first met Robin, how he strategically kind of cleared the competition out so that he could move in and do what he wanted to do. And it took a little while. Actually, it took a lot of while. But again, great plans, when you execute the plans, they seem to work out.
That's right. If you want something, you need to go after it. That's right.
For sure. Now, what I want to ask you about next is something that I have to admit is a first for me in terms of an honor bestowed upon one of our guests. And we've had some of the most amazing musicians, actors, comedians, writers, directors, you name it. We've had so many incredible people, but no one has received an honor like the two of you recently received in your home state of North Carolina, when on the floor of the House of Representatives, a proclamation was read honoring you for your success. How did that come about, and what was that experience like?
It was really great. We knew a lot of the folks in North Carolina here, and a lot of the folks in the representative in our county. We kind of live in a town that's right in Gaston and Cleveland County, so we visit Shelby a lot. We visit, of course, live here in Cherryville. We do a lot of things around the Charlotte community and around Gastonia. So we get to know a lot of folks, and we try to give back to the community by doing shows or helping with the Shriners a lot. We do benefits for them and just do a lot of things that we can. So several of the guys in the Senate and the House come to us and ask if we'd be willing to come down and do a few songs for them in Raleigh, and they was going to do that for us. So we was very, very touched and very happy they did.
That's so sweet. And it's a great honor. But you know, when you give out a lot, things do come back to you. And I'm sure those children really appreciate having you come and sing for them. That must be fulfilling for you as well.
Yes, I became a Shriner about 10 years ago. And it's something that I've always loved and had a passion for. And I knew that we could use our talents and what we've accomplished, you know, for our fame, I guess you could say, into helping raise money for the Shriners. So we do that every year.
And you know, it's so neat to visit the Shriners Hospital, because you would think it would be sad that to experience what these kids are kind of going through. But it's so happy. I mean, the doctors and there's always Shriners there to show you around and give you a tour, and it's just the happiest atmosphere. I love every chance we get to go, and you know, to even talk to some of the kids that have a dream of becoming a singer one day. So it's neat to know that you've encouraged and influenced a child in some way.
Well, my niece worked with an organization that helped children with cancer, and we had her on the show a few years ago, and she said, those kids uplift you think that you're good. Same thing that you said, you think you're going to be sad, and then you go in there and there's something about them that there's just this joy, this inner joy, and even in spite of what they're going through, they're still able to share that. And it's, wow, that's really special.
Yeah, it's a great feeling.
There's something I just wanted to throw in as well, because in terms of uplifting, and as you were just saying that, it made me think of something else that I just wanted to share with our viewers while we have the two of you here on the show. And I would encourage our viewers to go to Darin and Brooke's Facebook page if you haven't already, because talk about uplifting and positivity. And that's something that Rosie and I built our show on. And I want to commend the two of you for something else. Your posts on your page, in addition to the great music and fun stuff, you put some really terrific inspirational quotes and things on there that I just thought about as you were mentioning that. And it's just something where, with all the negativity and things that are out there today, I think it's great to have a place where you can go, you can hear great music. And it seems like several times a week, I'm seeing very uplifting posts and photos from you guys. And I just want to thank you for being a proponent of positivity on Facebook.
Well, thank you. We really did set out to do that when we started Darin and Brooke Aldridge. You know, we wanted to always keep a positive message in some way. And in some ways, especially in bluegrass, you know, there's always a murder ballad or some kind of song like that, but we don't feel like that's ever fit really what we do. So I'm glad that we've stuck with what we started out to do. And a lot of people, we get emails every day about people saying, thank you so much for being positive, like you're saying. So thank you guys for having that same kind of value when you started your show too.
And about 93% of those posts come from this one right here. She does most of all that stuff on Facebook. So
yeah, that's a job in and of itself. Bill does that for us, and it's a lot.
It is. It's a lot to think. Like, you have to put a lot of thought into what you're putting out there, you know, and social media can be really negative too. So I think it's kind of refreshing for people to be able to go on, you know, to musicians' pages and see that they're trying to, you know, promote positivity. So we always want to keep that at the forefront of what we do.
Amen
Well,
to that.
how has this pandemic impacted you as a musician? Because it's got to be rough.
It has. We've actually grown in our social media pages, though, where people have been home. I think that's been an outlet for them to not have to think about the pandemic as much. And we've also done our Sunday shut-in. We do a weekly Sunday shut-in. We slowed down a little bit since things have started picking back up after the pandemic has kind of slowed down a little bit. But it's, you know, it's not really hurt us in that sense. It's actually helped us in social media. But yeah, it's been hard not having a live audience and playing to hear them clap for you, or, you know, come up and tell you after the show that they really enjoyed what you've done.
You brought me life, sure be heaven. I found love when I found you.
I've traveled for 25 years playing music or going somewhere, and then all of a sudden when you have to stop that, it took several months for me to get used to this being home all the time. So that was one of the hardest things for me, and being around family and folks, because me and Brooke love to be around all of our family and friends. So,
But we were able to write a lot. We wrote probably more than we ever have, because we actually had time to sit down and think about songs, and, you know, watching different shows and stuff that we got to watch while we've been home. You know, created a lot of ideas for us, which we've not really, I guess, took the time to do as much. Yeah.
We've probably written or co-written over 25 songs in the last year. So
That's definitely making good use of the time. And I'll also say, having seen a few of the Sunday shut-in shows, you know, on your Facebook page, you guys sound amazing. Just sitting there acoustically in a room playing and singing, no fancy electronics, no auto tune, no anything, and it just sounds incredible.
well, thank you so much.
So later this year, though, you're going to be back out in front of people with the Oak Ridge Boys. How cool is that?
Oh, we're so excited about that. I've loved the Oaks since I was a little girl, and, you know, singing Elvira and all those classics that, you know, the Oaks for. But their friendship, it's been an honor to get to know them in the last couple of years, and just have them kind of take us under their wings. And, you know, they promote young artists, and it's such a great feeling to think, you know, these are my musical heroes, and they love what we're doing. And Joe Bonzel actually just texted me the other day when we released our latest single, and he was just bragging on how good it sounded, and our vocals and our musicianship, you know, and that just means so much as an artist, that, you know, you've aspired to be somebody like that your whole life, and hear your musical heroes are cheering you on. You know, that's such a great feeling.
Yeah, all four of them such great guys and nice. We've been on a couple of the country music cruises through the Opry with them, and they just took us in like family. And, you know, we'd be sitting around jamming, or they had invited us to sing on stage with them. And then you got Joe pulling his cell phone out, coming over in front of us, taping us live at the moment, you know, and then giving us a lot of calls. They're actually going to sing on a new record with us.
Yeah.
Coming up in a few weeks, we're going in the studio to do that. So yeah, we love the Oaks.
Darin, just a couple of minutes ago, you just mentioned the Opry, and you guys have played the Grand Ole Opry like multiple dozens of times over the years. I mean, it was like 30 times or more, I think, that you guys have played there. So that is the holy grail for country and bluegrass music. What's that experience been like, and does it ever get old?
No, it never gets old. It's we've got to do it 32 times now, and it's been a blessing and a joy, and they really treat us like family. And just growing up, like we said, we never dreamed we'd get to play there. You hope for that, and you set out for those kind of dreams and goals, and then getting to do that, and getting asked back, and getting to do things with the Opry band and play those and the country classic shows, and being around your heroes and getting to know them. And it really is all the stories like that you've heard or see on TV of backstage being one big family. That's the way it is, and we love being a part of that.
Well, you've also played with another guest that we had on the show, John Cowan. Mm-hmm. What was that like?
For me, it was another dream come true, because I was a big Newgrass fan, Newgrass Revival, and used to listen to CDs and learn to kind of chop mandolin like Sam Bush and try to sing those high vocals like John Cowan and play some of those, Newgrass standard tunes that you heard on the radio. So I was really loved all those songs. And when we got the call to come perform with them, I was so excited. And of course, Brooke loved his voice and loved their music, but the two of them getting to sing together and me getting to throw a harmony in there with these two powerful vocals was mighty strong.
And John he's such an encourager too. He's boosted my confidence as a singer, really both of us. But
Yes.
I think I definitely feel more confident on stage after getting to play with him. So he's been another huge influence in what we've done and what we get to do.
As a teenager, there's a close place here in Rutherford County called Green Acres that Newgrass used to come to a couple of times a year. It was a kind of a setting like Merle Fest started. The Acres was a little bit during that time, and I never got to see Newgrass live, but I saw John Cowan's band and John and Sam there. And you look up and hear them guys, and they're bigger than life, the way they could sing and stand on stage like that, and then to get to perform with them is an awesome. It's been awesome for us.
Well, and Brooke, you mentioned about how John has helped with your confidence. And one thing that I just want to point out for our viewers is the fact that, see if I get this right, because I knew it was over 30 with the Opry appearances, and you said 32, so I was close. But Brooke, I believe it's 4 consecutive years you've been Female Vocalist of the Year with the IBMA. I mean, that is one heck of a streak. Hopefully that gives you some confidence as well.
Oh, absolutely. And I never expected to win it once, much less 4 times. It's truly been an honor because all those women in that category each year I so admire and look up to. And it's been a really neat experience to get to, be honored for doing something that you love so much and have dreamed about doing since you were a kid.
I think you're a little modest, Brooke.
That's just me.
Both of you.
Thank you.
Well, we want to have a little fun with you guys because
Okay.
you're the first kind of like married duo. Well, I mean, we had John and Robin, but we'll just say that you're the first married duo. And shh, don't tell John and Robin. Okay. So we're just going to kind of play a little game, like see how well you know each other, kind of like the Newlywed Game, but a little bit less intrusive.
Okay, yeah.
A little bit more G-rated. So my first question is, if you were to write, and this will first go, I'm going to put this one to Brooke first.
Okay.
And then Darin, you can follow up. It'll be interesting to see if there's a difference, and then I'll let Bill take over. If you were to write a song title based on your marriage or your relationship, either professionally or personally, what would that title be, and how might that song go?
Goodness. Let's see. It would probably have something to do about being all wrapped up in you, because there's not a day that we're not together. We're constantly, even in our music. I mean, of course, we travel together all the time, and people say, how do y'all not get on each other's nerves or fight all the time, but we wouldn't have it any other way. So I think a good song title would be All Wrapped Up in You, because like I said, we're never separated from each other, really.
That just kind of choked me up. It did. Like, I didn't expect that. You came up with that so fast. What, Darin?
Was that in a bad way or a good
No,
way?
a good way. Like,
Yeah.
That was the sweetest thing.
Thank you. I truly do mean that.
A great title probably coming to me would be My Only Love. Something like that would be a great song, or something like Brooke said. That's hard to beat there with All Wrapped Up in You. The little things that we get to do together every day, if it's just making coffee or getting up or getting to walk the dog with us, it never gets old.
Well, maybe on the next album, we'll look for them.
That was the title too. It never gets old.
Never
I like
gets
I was
that.
just going to say the same thing. That just jumped out at me. Never gets
That
old.
just kind of
That's great.
come out. Might want to write that down.
Yeah. Definitely. That'll have a hook. I can see that one. So, all right, now
Thank you.
I've
Yeah,
got
right.
yeah, I've got a musical related question as well. And Brooke, this one is for you.
Okay.
Does Darin have a favorite guitar chord to play? And if so, what might that chord be?
Oh, wow. Well, I've got to say the G run because that's just the chord you hit when you play bluegrass. But probably that one. But Darin is he's very creative. So I rarely hear him play anything the same way twice. But yeah, I would definitely say the G run is probably one of his favorites.
Okay, one more musical question here. Darin, this is for you. What is Brooke's favorite venue to play?
I would say the Opry or the Ryman would be the favorite one for her.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right, so Brooke, here's one for you. And this is a story that I heard, and I need to find out if this is true. Brooke, is it true that Darin was once mistaken by someone as Vince Gill's son?
Yes, it is true. And I think if we saw that lady today, she would still question it was he Vince Gill's son. She even asked Darin, standing side stage, she asked him if he was Vince's son, and Darin tried to explain that he was not several times. And then we saw her across the stage asking Vince, like pointing to Darin, "Is that your son?" So I don't think she believed us or Vince. So
Yeah.
Wow, that's funny.
yeah.
Okay, I have one for Darin. Darin, what is Brooke's favorite rom-com, romantic comedy?
Oh, she loves Pretty Woman. She likes that movie.
That was just on today.
Really? She loves the Tom Hanks movie, You've Got Mail.
Okay.
Comedy. Those two would probably be up there in the top.
Yeah, way high. Oh yeah, definitely.
So, Brooke, what is his favorite genre of movies?
His favorite genre is like the Avengers and
I like
Star
that, yeah.
Wars, all that kind of stuff. He is big into that. I think we've watched them and they never get old. He learns something new every time we watch it. So
Yeah.
definitely those kinds of movies.
I'm curious, and then I'm going to let Bill get a word in edgewise here. Darin, because I love those superhero movies too, and I love romantic comedies, but what's your favorite superhero movie?
Ooh, that's hard to say. I don't know. I really liked all the Marvel movies and how they all tie together.
Okay.
A lot of people, I guess, don't realize that. But the last Avengers Endgame was pretty hard to top because it brought them all together.
Okay.
Closure to the season, and some of the actors, for their characters. So
Right.
good.
Okay.
And I appreciate you not saying any more about that because Darin, I haven't seen that one yet. So thanks for that. I know it's hard to believe, but one of these days I'm going to sit down and actually watch that one because the one before it, Infinity War, left you kind of hanging a little bit.
Yeah, you need to watch the last one, man. It was
Okay.
on, I don't know what channel on normal TV last night, maybe TNT or something like that. But Disney Plus, you don't have that. It's got them all on there.
We would be remiss if we didn't talk about one more topic. And that topic is your new single that was released a few weeks ago, Blue Baby Now. So tell us the story behind the song and where can our viewers find it?
Well, this was a song that I was doing before Darin and I met with the band that I was playing with. And it was a song that I heard by the Whites. They did it back in the 80s, and it was kind of a slower version, of course, more country sound. And I always thought that song would sound so good with a banjo intro and just kind of grassed up a little bit. So when Darin and I met, I introduced him to the song. He knew the song by the Whites, but he hadn't heard it the way that I did it. And he really loved it that way. So it was really funny because before we went into the studio to track some of our first songs for this next album, we hadn't really thought about that song. We hadn't done it in such a long time. And it was like the day we were driving to Nashville, and Darin said, I was thinking Blue Baby. And I said, I was just going to say that. I said, we've kind of put that song on this, back burner and hadn't thought about it in a while. So we chose to do it. And it released last Friday,
Mhm.
and it's now out for everybody to hear. You can get it on all digital media platforms. You can also go to Billy Blue Records and find it there on their Facebook page. Or you can go to darinandbrookealdridge.com and somehow get to those digital media platforms as well.
Anything you listen to, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, Pandora. Find all our music there.
Yep.
So my last question is, what's the pot of gold for you two? Is there anything that you haven't accomplished yet that you wish to accomplish?
Yeah, I would love to play the Red Rocks Amphitheater at some point in our career, and also go to Telluride, which is in Colorado. That would be two great venues that I would love to get to play. And I know you have a
Same
big,
for me. I love both of those.
and maybe even, at some point win a Grammy. That would be a big step in our career. If we
Yeah,
got
or
to
get
experience
nominated
that.
in the genre,
Yeah.
for that. I think would be a great honor.
On a similar note, in terms of music, again, not necessarily venues, but are there any artists that you would like to play with that you haven't played with or share the stage with as things open back up?
I think both of us would love to meet with Dolly and sing with her sometime. That would be one of the highest for us. We've got to play and sing with so many of the ones that we've looked up to. But Dolly, we haven't never been around her before, so I think that'd be special.
She is country royalty.
She is.
Everyone wants to play with, perform with her.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and even if you're not a musician, I mean, everybody can relate to Dolly in some way. Like you feel like she's your long lost aunt, that you never really knew. That's how I've always felt when I see her on TV or in movies. I feel like there's some connection there that I've just never gotten to tell her about. But someday I hope to get that chance.
She seems very down to earth.
She does.
Yeah,
yes.
definitely.
Well, it has been so much fun. You guys are so down to earth and so sweet and so talented. What a great mix that is for success. And we wish you the best with the new single and your writing and your albums, forthcoming, and your dreams of the Grammy and all the places that you want to play. And to close the show, we're hoping that you will do a song for us.
We'll be glad to.
All right.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much for having us.
We've loved every minute we've been with you guys. So thank you again.
Oh, thank you.
Time flies when you're having fun and you're hanging out with positive people.
That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, Darin and Brooke Aldridge.
I'm a blue baby now, such a blue baby now. I might as well roll over and cry, 'cause I'm a blue baby now. Today I saw you walking down the street, smiling at the woman by your side. Then suddenly I felt my heart skip a beat when I realized she was a friend of mine. And I'm a blue baby now, such a blue baby now. I might as well roll over and cry, 'cause I'm a blue baby now. Don't know how much damage has been done, or when I'll have a change of heart. For me, the pain has only just begun. I guess I need a brand new start. And I'm a blue baby now, such a blue